right now. Boom.
Yeah, man. Peace and love from Jamaican English.
That's it.
Done, it's a blessing. Big up Truman Show, Janik, one love. Yeah, yeah, man. Jamaican English for the people, them. Big up Bite Radio, big up Bud, big up Victor. All the members, them. One love.
Hold on. This playing in the background. Hold on. Yeah, okay, you're there. Perfect. Yeah, so wonderful to have you here again. I had sound playing in the background. I had to shut it off. But yeah, that's what we were talking about just before we pressed the start broadcast this interview. We were talking about building the emotional bank account more than a Babylonian bank account. And I want you to extend on it. How do you do this? And how important is it for you in your life to keep building that emotional state, because your emotional state is your everyday feelings, emotion mixed together that brings you either to sit on the couch eating popcorn, drinking beer, watching TV, or being in the front, in the well doing your thing, and not so much chasing your dream. It's more catching it. It's more. Because we all have something here given to us. We all have something to do, something waiting for us, but we have to catch it. It's like, don't chase your dream, catch your dream. It's right there. What do you think about that?
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah, man. I mean, everyone loves to play movies. Everyone loves to play the PlayStation and the computer games, and everyone loves to sit on. Well, everyone would love to think that they can sit on the couch doing nothing, but it's not in me. Maybe it's my blood type. Maybe it's because I'm a Virgo. Maybe it's just an energy around me. I can't sit down for more than 5 minutes. Usually, I can play a computer game, but I can't zone into it. Me zoning in, I suppose, maybe psychologically in my head, I zone into lyrics. I zone into music. So anything else, it's not the same. I won't put as much in, or I won't dive in so much, because it's almost like maybe it's a thing in the background telling me that that's for your music, that don't get lazy in that section, double in and out and keep on moving, and then when it comes to my work, I'm ready for it, and I dive in, and that's where I could sit on a couch for maybe 5 to 10 hours, and my missus come home and say, what are you doing? But you see this one, my missus will come home and say, what have you been doing? And the lyric I'm not using is, I've just been playing a new computer game, and I've just eaten a whole pack of biscuits, and it's more like, what's all these lyrics over the floor? Jesus, like you're freezing cold, put the heating on, turn on the light, you're human. You look like you're been locked in a cave somewhere. It's because I've forgotten about everything. I'm zoned into my thing, and I'm happy. And like when you're happy, it's not happy because I've got this around me and I'm in a comfortable chair and I've got this light shining on me. No, because like my missus said, your feet are freezing. You ain't even got your socks on, because my brain is so occupied and is so happy with what I'm doing, which is my music part, that it's locked off all other senses. And then until my missus comes in and makes me realize, and I'm like, oh my God, my feet are cold. Oh my God, I've been sitting in the dark. Why didn't I just turn on the light? But in my missus, she's more, it's like you said before, she believes in me and she pushes me as well, so she's like saying the same thing. She'll go and grab me some socks and throw them at me and put on the light and so on and so on. But she won't be vexed and say, all you've done all day is just sat there. She's happy because all I've done all day is done me and lived and pushing my dream forward and doing something. To other people, they might be like, no, I ain't doing nothing. But she knows, and I know, I've done something. Pages and pages of lyrics, pages and pages, books and books. There's like, look, Truman.
Yeah, show me that.
All my lyrics. It's like school. It's like university. There's lyrics every day, every night, every morning. Always write. Sometimes I just write, and my missus says to me, "Why are you writing?" And I said, "Because I never know when that one can be used."
So
It's like
comes to always be prepared for an opportunity, even if you don't have one. then have an opportunity, not be prepared. So you're prepared.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Even sometimes I write a lyric and I think, yeah, whatever, and I put it to the side, and then somebody from somewhere will send me a beat just like you do, or
Yeah,
somebody else, and I'll go to my lyrics, and that lyric will fit like it was already written for that beat. How
ah,
can you?
that's
Do you understand me?
that's divine
So
timing. That's
yeah,
the
man. Yeah,
timing.
man.
And that's
Yeah,
very
man.
hard to get ourselves in tune with that kind of timing. Also, that's important to talk about this because of,
Yeah.
we want things to happen, but we want them to happen fast and not necessarily
Yeah. Now.
with our timing. We want, this and that, but it's
Yeah.
divine timing. You agree with me?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So I'm at home all the time, and because I know in my head I don't work and I don't pull in the big money. Well, other people, whatever, but me, I'm not stupid. And I ain't doing that to my missus. I'm not letting her come home and I'm all lean up on the couch playing PlayStation and being like a layabout. Because inside my heart, that's breaking me down as well. I'm not a fool. You know what I mean? I know that if she came home and see me like that every day, every day, every day, that's just beating our relationship down. That's just dragging it down, dragging it down. Which is why she respects. Look, there's in relationship, it's always there's two of you, and you always both of you. It's like the volumes. You can't just go up and that one stay down. The left speaker don't work. If you're in a club and the left speaker don't work, people are gonna be like, "Nah, man, fix up that speaker." What you know what I mean? They're gonna be like, "Oh, people, then we've only got one speaker working, so just enjoy yourself." People are not gonna enjoy themselves. It's the same in life with a relationship. If one of you's not pulling your weight, what do you think is gonna happen to the other one? All right, for a couple of months, for a couple of days, for a couple of whatever, they're gonna try and be okay with it. But come on, man, we're all human. We know that's wrong. That's wrong. You both have to do your levels. I don't know how to iron. I don't know how to wash, but I try these things. I make my missus write it on a board so I don't muck up the colors in the wash and so on and so on. And as long as I'm trying and not trying, is a big difference. A big difference in a relationship. A big difference in work. A big difference in life. How money comes in. How money is being spent. How you portray money to be spent in life. Like save up for your. I always save any money I get. The first bit of money, I don't go and buy a new mic or go and buy a pair of trainers because I know that I haven't got a regular income. So the first bit of money that goes straight in a glass jar, and I write electricity, council tax, parking fine. You know what I mean? Because
That's it.
without doing that, you're putting a whole weight on your relationship, on your partner, on your family, and most importantly, on yourself. You might not think about that, but it's there. We're human. Our brain can pick up senses we don't even know about. You see the Buddha people and all them people in Rastafari why they meditate. It's because they're trying to bring in that other sense, the other feelings, because they're out there and people don't realize that if you don't pay your bills and if you go on like you're bad and so on and so on, inside is hurting you. You might walk the street like you're the biggest man in the world, but really and truthfully, you're an unhappy person. If I sat you in a room for a week on your own, by the end of the week, you'll be crying.
Yeah.
Do you understand me? If I sat a person like me or like yourself in a room for a week, we'll just get on with things because our inner core is happy. So
Yeah, but to get to that feeling, it's something you need some self awareness, which is very important. But what you're
yes,
talking about,
yes,
I translate that into also being a very congruent, having that feeling of a congruency with our being, which is important. Like you say, if you don't pay your bills, you don't pay your stuff, and you don't go out there and get the money. Listen, this is Babylon. We're all in it. We're all
yeah, man,
compromised. We're all compromise in it.
yes,
Make the best that you can, the best out of your life, the best. Create something good and align with nature and stuff, and feel congruent with your being, which is very important. You want what you think also. The meditation of your heart, the words from your mouth, and then
yeah,
like at one point, there's why be so insecure?
yeah, that's right, that's right, that's right.
Because that's the case of most people. The reason why we don't get to that congruency or consistency with our being is because we're very off, also very off of what really we should know. The basic has to be relearned how to live.
Yeah,
Where the
yeah,
lie
yeah,
start.
yeah.
We all say we live a lie. Okay, where does it start? Because you
That's
pretend you
right.
know how to live.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I mean, people say they don't teach you that in school. They should teach you about life. They should teach you about not just. I mean, yeah, yeah. They teach you geography. Yeah, they teach you art. They teach you maths and English, but they don't teach you about humans. They don't teach you about reactions. They don't teach you about that. You're just meant to learn that as you become an adult. But as we all know, not everybody. Some people need a push. Some people need to be told, and that's just a part of life. That's just a part of we're all human and we're not all the same. And that stands for a part of it, which means we are not all the same. You can put 5 people in a class and 3 of them will understand. And 3 of them will go, yeah, boom, 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 boom. But 2 of them will be looking like, what? You're talking alien to me.
And
You're not talking sense. But if you sat them down and somebody else came in and talked to them on another level, they would go, oh, see, I get it now. So they're not stupid. Yeah, they're stupid in the class of 5 at that time, but you take them 2 people out and you give them someone that they look up to or someone that can think on a different level and explain from another angle, they'll understand it just the same.
yeah, it's just the perception sometimes we have. I think it's more like you say, it's a faulty perception of reality. A lot that's been formed and conditioned within us with schools and stuff. And look, is it there really to? They've never really taught me how to get in touch with my dream or how to get in touch with myself. Okay, we do some stuff to stretch a bit in school, like, but it's mostly a conditioning. Is it there to
Yeah.
break our wings? I think it's more there to break our wings than to let us repair the wings, start to fly. Like at school, I never learned to fly.
You know what I mean?
I learned
Yeah.
to fly at the age of 40 years old. I started to learn to fly because also maybe a desire. You gotta have that desire within you also to rise above your circumstances and all your nonsense. That's a desire you have.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, so
For real.
that's it. So the emotional bank account, which is very important. Now, I would like to talk a bit more deeply about the music stuff and how you exactly how the because music is very different today, very different than it used to be. How important for you is it to keep that consistency into your like I think you're evolving. You're evolving with your lyrics big time. Like I see an evolution. But is that something you want to keep on going? Do you do like research in astrology or stuff like that? Do you have take time to like nurture your being, nourish your being with some knowledge
Uh,
worth knowing? Because there
this,
is stuff worth knowing in this world.
of course, of course. I will admit I don't do a lot of research and I don't do a lot of reading. I should do more. It would definitely make me more not
Aware,
brainier, but
aware.
just more educational. But I this is one of the reasons why I wanted to start DJing again, because I'm an MC and I'm a lyricist, and reggae music goes from ska to roots to revival to reggae to ragga to bashment to dancehall, and now there's this new dancehall pop, which is very and it's all like, and I mean, look, there's no disrespect, but I'm not into that. But me becoming a DJ made me like be more aware, and now it's like an open book. Every time I'm playing music, it's soaking into me. It's soaking into me. So if there's this guy speaking about this topic, in my brain I'm thinking, yeah, you know what, he's right. Yeah, you know what, yeah, he's on a level. Yeah, you know what, and my brain will just take bits and bobs without me even knowing, because I'm already trained. It's like you being trained in something, and then as you're going on, you're creating your own skills, you're creating your own moves, because you've advanced, so you've spent so long training that it becomes, now I can play all kinds of music, even hip-hop. There'll be some hip-hop I'll just be like, nah, nah. And there'll be a hip-hop track I'll play and I'll be like, boy, you know what, that touched me. Damn lyrics, they are big lyrics. So I would take stuff from that, and that almost music to me is a way of everything. from what other people are saying. It's just that some people are not saying too good stuff, but it won't sink in my head, and I'll play it once, but you won't see me play it again. And other music, they could be talking about the birds in the trees. They could be talking about the cars and the diesel and the petrol. They could be talking about the planes in the sky. They could talk about anything, but to me, I'm just taking it in. So it is like me opening up a book and reading. It is like me doing some research. I'm just doing it in my way, in a different way. And as I started to DJ and play the music, that was me, because I love all of it. I play revival, lovers rock, ska, because there's all good parts of it. And I like to think, oh, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I like that bit. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I like that bit. Oh, I'm going to take in. Oh, he said that. Oh, okay. Then if somebody says something that deep and I don't understand it, and then I'll go and Google it. Then I'll go and do some research on it.
But that's very good. I like your principle, the way you your principles. Yeah, it's exactly it. Because if life, like everyone has that saying that life is our best teacher. I don't think so. If
No.
life would be our best teacher, we would have learned a long time ago something worth knowing. Like we would come into this
Yeah.
world and we would know, like intuitively and stuff. Like your best teachers is other people. Like you see, you go into
Yeah.
music, you listen to other people lyrics. You know, this is our best teachers. Is each and every one of us, each one teach
Yeah.
one. But to
That's
realize
right.
that, you got to put down that sailing ego trip a bit, that ego trip
Yeah.
we're sailing on. Because if not, it's very easy to reach out to others and to learn, like you say, and especially into music. Me, I've started with Bob Marley. Bob was my big. I say all the time, Bob was my biggest teacher.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah. Yeah,
right.
man.
It's
Yeah,
Bob
man. Definitely.
Marley.
Yeah, man.
I'm sure probably to you too also. Like many people have connected at a young age with reggae music, and suddenly you find me, I found a great vibe into it, and I still find a great vibe into it today.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe I think the vibe gets stronger, as you go on
Yeah.
and you dive deep into the music and now start producing it and stuff. Like
That's
I don't know,
right.
just something you want to energize, like you say before. You prefer to put energy into this than energy somewhere else. And
That's
often,
right.
before you were talking about when you're at home and doing your stuff, and sometimes you forget to open the blind or get some light. And, sometimes I even forget to eat. I'm so absorbed
Yes.
by
Yes.
the plate stuff that I'm making, the visual. Sometimes I even forget the heat. So you
That's
can be
right. That's right.
very, very absorbed when you do something with
Yeah.
complete passion. It's
That's
powerful,
it. Yeah, man. I mean, look, for instance, you can get up one day and you're like, oh, I'm starving, I'm starving, I'm starving. But like you said, when your brain's occupied and you got that love and you got that interest, starving what? You could go a whole day and night. You wouldn't even
right?
think about it until somebody's mentioned it to you. And then you'll be like, oh my God, bro, I haven't
Yeah,
eaten for 2 days.
exactly. No, it happens
Very
to me
true.
all the
Very
time.
true.
But that's the power of also, that we have it's important, because if not, you default to distraction. If you're not working on something, you're not stretching beyond what you already master in life. You're distracted. We should be always on track. That's
Yeah.
to be on track, not to be distracted and at this creating this ease, because we're not at
Yeah.
ease with our being. Like we should all be very much at ease with who we are, right?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, me, I think that's the starting point in anything, and and seek and find, and you will find the great vibe out there to make you feel alive. I think we all have something to do. Like I said, it's to just to catch it and to go beyond what we already master in order to grow.
Yeah.
What is your opinion? Yeah, now on the not only the way we make music, but I think the way we generate something, some kind of cash flow with the music also, because like you say, sometimes it's to make a living, pay our bills and stuff. I think it had changed a lot, but I think also that there's more possibility than ever before. Like we seem to be sometimes a bit close-minded with the fact that music is distributed, electronically today. But that gives a lot of opportunity, social media and all that, and that people are not buying music. But and on the other end, you look at it, and it gives a lot of opportunity to guys like you or other people that can use that social media stuff to promote and to make themselves known. Sometimes it's just we don't know. There might be some great, phenomenal artists in this world I don't even know yet about.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
no, you're right. You're right. To me, it's a love and hate relationship. I understand that exactly what you said there is totally right. It is right. The way that there's all these media sites, the internet, people can find out quickly so much more about you, and if they want to support you, and so on and so on. But what happens is, Nick, is that because we are so easily open to it, right? I'm going to give you an example. A fisherman goes in the water to fish. He spent all day in the sea until 9 at night. From 9 in the morning to 9 at night, he comes back with one fish. How many fishermen are going out there the next day to go and fish? None of them. Fisherman goes out there and goes and fishes and catch a whole heap of fish and comes back home and goes, blood clot, how many fish? The boat is rammed with fish. Everybody are going to go out there. It's the same with this media thing, which means your fans are they're not loyal to you. But there's another one. 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 To the point where we're all diluted. Yeah, we're easy to get hold of. Yeah, we're easy to be received. Yeah, right now I can make music and it can be, and it's everywhere. People in Japan can listen to it. People in Africa can listen to it. But what happens is there's so many of us in the sea that eventually all the listeners only just take a little 1% of each of you, because they're going to the next one, they're going to the next one, they're going to the next one, because it's so easily available. That's what I talk about, is a love and hate, because I love it for one reason, is that yes, we can go out there, but at the same time, we all doing it, and it's making the game and it's making the music and the thing very thinned out.
yeah,
Where like back in the day, you didn't even know the rapper's name. Sometimes you didn't even know how tall they were, how skinny they were, how fat they were, whether they wore black clothes, red clothes, pink clothes, and all of that is a mystery. And that mystery creates you being such a stronger believer in the artists, and that you follow them, because every day you're thinking, oh my God, imagine if I knew what he was about. Imagine if I knew what garms he wear. Nowadays, straight away, I know everything. I know everything. So tomorrow, I don't need to know nothing about you. I'm going to move on to Tom. Because Tom's here. He's got a new tune out. I'm going to go check him out, see what garms he's wearing, see where he's from. Hold on a minute. John's over there. I'm going to go. So it's so quick, which is what the music is doing. I see in these pop charts and all that, how people don't last even that. I can't remember. For example, X Factor. I don't watch it, but I see the winners. It's because the next day when X Factor's finished and the winners there, they're in the paper, they're in this and that. You get to see the tune that they released. They last 1 year. 1 year. 1 year. I've not seen one of them artists come off that show and they're still here now, big. Because next one's up, next one's up, next one's up, next one's up, next one up, next one up, next one up. You've got a year lifespan and you best make what you can of it, because after that, it's not that you're hot. It's you're no longer the new thing. You're no longer the new. Everybody wants to know. Everybody's, like we said, the media, everyone's found out about you. Everybody knows. Everybody knows that you was rude to somebody in the street because somebody's recorded it. So it's crazy. It's crazy. It's love and hate. But the new kids coming up, they understand it a lot more, and they understand how to work it. Which is, I suppose, as I'm a bit older, I'm slightly more slower. So I am not like it's a fast moving game. It's fast paced moving. So I'm not so fast like that. Really, I want to bring out 1 or 2 free track, and they should last a year. They won't. They'll get muddled in between millions of music, and it's potluck if your stands the time. So it's in one way I'm like, yes, media site and all this new stuff going on big, and in other ways I'm like, it's just diluted everything, man. It's made people just not stay with something and live it out right the way to the end, like we used to do back in the day, man. Like,
Yeah, I agree with
Like
you. Like
we
most,
had Chronics played at Alexandra Palace on Sunday. Now I used to do security at Alexandra Palace. Alexandra Palace is massive. There's only a few artists that can fill that out. Yeah. And Chronics is lucky enough to be one of them. But what? So Chronics is the only greatest singer in reggae? No. He's just lucky to be one of the ones that has got a big network team behind him and a big push. Because if you're on your own, you don't have that big network and that big push, then like I say, you're just next one, next one, next one, next one. The only way is if a big entourage come along, like Monster Love, and just swamp you with it. Then you can't go anywhere. You know, and it's a big thing that Chronic's done there because nobody can fill out Alexandra Palace. The place is, yo, you can fit 2 helicopters in there, 3 plane in there. The place, 10,000 people turned up to that for Chronics. That's big, man. Especially in the UK, tickets were like £35. Yes, look at your face.
$50 Canadian.
So you know, like so it is. It's love and hate. It's love and hate. You know.
No, I see that a lot for sure. If you the one you see mainstream, the big reggae artists, the many artists, they have a big push around, and I think
Yes.
Chronix is one of them. It's nothing personal to Chronix, but for sure he has
No.
a big push, and he's been him. You look at him, Kabaka Pyramid, Jesse Royal. These are all guys coming out of Jamaica with a huge push. Like
Yeah.
they have the network, they have the promotion team, they have. I don't know if they have the money, but the people around them have the money, and they want to see them like
Yeah.
out there.
And
They
that's a
have
big
a
part
great
of it.
vibe.
That
Like
that
I
is a massive. As an artist, that is a massive part. You can only be who you are. Yeah, but if you haven't got that big entourage, that big push, it's like a needle in a haystack for you to make it. It seriously is. So you know, it's very, he must give thanks and praises to all his entourage because they're doing the right thing. And again, you know, how many people in that big entourage are getting on with each other and not arguing, because that's a whole part of it as well. If everybody's happy and everybody's moving, then it's all going. It's all, you know. If things start to fall apart and people have arguments and start kicking out and start falling back, it's falling down. It's falling down, man.
because the bigger it gets, the more money is involved, the more trouble can occur, the more corruption, the more
That's
you know
right.
when money is there in amount in big amounts, it brings people to sometimes to do a bit of crazy stuff for sure, and
Yeah, man.
stuff that would probably can tear the band apart or something, you know. So you have to be, yeah, it's not for sure not. And like I was saying, not that these guys don't have a great vibe. If I look at Kabaka Pyramid, Chronics, and this, but I think anyone can have a great vibe with a great push.
Yeah,
It's
man.
it's
Right.
not
Thank you.
Chronics
That's
or
the key of
Kabaka,
it. That's the key
anyone.
of it. Yes, there's loads of artists out there, and if they add that entourage and that right push, they could be on the same platform. And people wonder why. Oh, how come he's made it and this person hasn't made it? And how come this person is shining and this person isn't shining? And it's the same kind of. It's the same kind of. It's the same kind of things. It's the network, the people behind it, how it's being perceived, and so on and so on. I mean, there's so many artists in the reggae and dancehall scene where I scratch my head and think, "Bro, this one is how come he ain't made it? How come?" But then I scratch my head again, and I know why. And I said to myself, "It's just that's just how it is." And in a way, it didn't teach me, but it made me not chase it so much because you have to come to a point in your life and you have to simmer and realize I can't keep on with my dream because your dream will end up destroying you. I.e., meaning your background life, your real life, like your mother, your father, your girlfriend, your wife, your homely stuff, your family stuff. If you're just out there trying to get that stage, trying to get that dream, and you're beating it down, it's like it can put such a toll on everything else around you, your friends as well. You know what I mean? Because you ain't got time for them because you're pushing yourself. And it did make me realize that, you know what, I'm at a certain age now where I need to simmer a little bit and not like be like, oh, I didn't make it, because to me, I have made it. I've toured countries. I've been to France, Bordeaux, Marseille, Lille. I went to Toronto. I played at the Astoria. I played at Club Volvic, downtown Toronto. They've done them big parties down by the big river where the sea comes into the big lake, and you've got all the forest and the sand, and all the cars pull up on park in the forest, like, you know, and they put on big raves in there. I've been to New York. I've been to Jamaica twice. So it's, you know, people say, ah, he has made it. He's been all around. He's been all around. But I'm not a Billboard #1, you know. But I said to myself, I need to stop chasing that dream. I need to just now ride the roller coaster and be happy with it, with what I'm doing. Otherwise, it's going to destroy me, because you're passionate about what you're doing, and you do want to become the best. You know, you do want to make it, but at the same time, you do have to realize in yourself at a certain age, you know what, I'm going to have to simmer. And you don't know what's going to come from that. You could simmer, and in 2 years' time, you could make it. But if you don't, still you see how you're trying to. So it's best, I think, within yourself as an artist, no matter where you're from or what you're doing, at a certain age in your life, you do need to reassess yourself and say, look, if you're on your own and it's just you, no problem, go for it. But if you have baggage around you, i.e. family, kids, wife, good friends, sometimes you have to realize and say, you know what, I need to just simmer on that and enjoy my people, my family, my life. But also still don't forget, and still write lyrics, still got time to do stuff, but just not be out there burning the candle at both ends. Because this is why probably many artists fall off the back bench. And people just think, oh, what happened to him? What happened to him? What happened to him? It's because he got tired of beating himself, trying to chase the dream, trying to become the #1. You know, and like you say, we're all human. So in the end, it burns us inside, and I don't know, maybe people become a more horrible person, a more moodier person, you know, because you didn't make the dream. But if you simmer in yourself and say, no, you know what? I have been places. I have had good records with good people. I have made good music. People have heard my stuff. Then be happy with that, man.
You know, someone said that every time you find yourself on the side of the majority, you should take a pause and reflect. Well,
That's right.
I
That's
think that
right,
says it
man.
all. And that's just it. You know, take a pause and reflect. And I want to have your opinion. I was thinking of something like we said. Me, people that have dream or work on their dream or do something great to make this world a better place inspire me. And I had Bob Marley in my ears for a long time, inspiring me and pushing me to discover who I was, probably what I had to do here or something. He was certainly a great teacher, but then
Yeah, man.
he has his sons also. What's your opinion on the Marley brothers? Because we were talking about Chronics before, but when I look at them, like what I think is void, and that's what I told my wife. Maybe because I don't know them enough, but I think it's void of story. Like there's nothing really. Like I've never been a listener of the Marley Brothers music, except Ziggy a little bit when I was a bit younger. But the other ones, they don't attract me. Why I'm not attracted to listen? I was very like look. I have Bob on the back there, and Bob for me is my greatest life teacher, I told you. So why am I not attracted to the Marley brothers? Sometimes I wonder because I
Well,
to Damien.
Nick,
Damien has
Nick,
still great
think
stuff.
of it like this. Think of it like this. Sometimes I explain things in a different way, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But
go ahead. That's why I want you to give me
it's
your.
like it's like you see a model and she's beautiful. Are you expecting her son or her daughter to be that beautiful? And for you, okay, when I was growing up, Samantha Fox was Samantha Fox, Samantha Fox. I love her. I posters of her, all that thing. But if she had a daughter or a son, I'm not going to be like, oh, I love her, I love her. I got a poster of her on my wall. It's not the same. It's not the same person. We are all individuals, all of us. That's what makes humans so great and so powerful. So Bob Marley, he is himself, whether he has 100 kids, He is so powerful himself. There cannot be no one to replace that. He is a leader. He is like a god. He is an icon. They only come around so much. Do you understand me, Nick?
Yeah.
There is no other Bob Marley, and there might not be for another 20 years. There might never be, but there might be. Someone like Chronix could pave the way. Do you understand me? But with the Marley family as well, the brothers and that, I mean, think of how much pressure was on them from young age. So much pressure. So maybe even to the point where they didn't want to be like their dad. They didn't really want to, yeah, you understand? They're going to follow the path, but they're not going to try and be him, sound like him, everything him. They're trying to come out, and as they grow older, they're trying to create their own path and their own thing. But what I find with them as well is they are very heavily into the Rasta movement and that. And Rasta people don't glorify fame. They don't glorify being a number one, having 10,000 albums, being out there for the massive to love you and bow down to. Some of these big artists, look, I know some real big singers in reggae, and when I found out they live in some shanty hut, they wake up in the morning, they ain't got no socks or shoes. They don't care about them thing. They don't care about them. But give them a mic and a beat, and they will sing, and you'll be like, yo, that's, oh my God, like, yo, boom, boom, boom. That's all they care about. So it's the same kind of thing with them, because it's hard to get a lot of their stuff. They're not always on the front market. You only hear about them when they're booked for the big gigs and they're being recorded. But you don't hear the other stuff behind the scene, because they're very kind of like, well, if you want to come and check me and check my vibe, you need to come over to this Rasta vibe. You need to come and live in Jamaica, or so on and so on, and you've got to be a part of that. Otherwise, you're not really going to see me. You're not really going to know about me. And that is with a lot of the artists in Jamaica. There is so many. There is so many.
And also, my wife told me something. She said they're a bit victim of their name, also. Like they are beings. Like she said, they're beings like everyone. They have to do
Yeah,
something.
man.
They have to. Okay, maybe they are born into a wealthy family for sure. Like
Yeah,
there's lots of money in the Marley family, but
yeah, man.
I mean, at one point they have to live. Also, they came here. So you don't think you wouldn't qualify them as sellouts?
No, 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 no,
Okay.
no, man, no, because that would be unfair. That would be unruly, because they are who they are as individual people, and they do represent Bob Marley. And anywhere they go, they sing a Bob Marley. Do you know what I mean? They carry that flag, but they're just not trying to imitate mirror for mirror their father. They're trying to say that we are from Bob Marley. He is my dad, and so on and so on. But I am me, and I follow Rastafari. I don't follow Bob Marley, my dad. I follow the movement, Rastafari movement.
Yeah. But again, there's a lot of money involved there. So when you have money, it's easy. Like, I mean, to blow yourself, to have a promotion. Like, I mean, it's not so hard to make it to, it's harder if you don't have the resources, and each and every day you have to struggle to find those resources.
Yeah,
It's going
man.
to,
Yeah, man.
then if you
Of
have all
course.
kinds of supply around you, goes fast
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, man.
And it's
Yeah.
easy. It might not be stronger though. It might be a bit. It's going to be stronger. I think your whole enterprise, your whole journey. If you struggle, if you have no struggle, sometimes adversity is good, and that's what we said. It's
Yeah,
good to
man.
have adversity and to struggle a bit and to go. It's when you're an artist, it's easy to go hungry. Like.
Well, I mean, think about the Bob Marley kids from a young age. Like you said, yeah, they are rich, but there's two sides to Bob Marley. He is a great singer, and he's a great leader, and what he wrote about and what he was trying to bring to the world was great. But there's a whole nother story behind him, about all him moving with gangsters, and how that they pushed forward Bob Marley, and they would turn up at radio stations and tell the DJs, yo, you don't play no yo, you better play 5 Bob Marley track today, or man is coming to your yard and you're getting had up. That's not nice. You understand me? So there is a whole spectrum of that. So when them kids were young, there was a love and hate relationship between them in Jamaica, because there's half of Jamaica and the world going Bob Marley, Bob Marley, Bob Marley, and then there's a whole other people saying, nah, man, don't glorify that. Yeah, because behind the scenes, not he wasn't nice, but he hung around with people that weren't nice, and then people them would trash down anything in the way, anything.
But
So
Bob,
they had a lot of that to either live up to, or to try and repair it, or to try and separate it from themselves. So yeah, they came from money, they came from good family, you know, somewhere. But I believe that when they was young, I reckon they struggled a lot with how life was, and how to be taken, and how to give out love, or how to be received, and so on and so on. Because they could have gone so off path, or just not wanted to be an MC and just be a reclusive person, you know, because of the pressures of Bob Marley the Great, you know.
and people's perception also of you, your perception they have of you sometimes. You know, like Bob Marley, you take his stuff. Bob said in an interview, he said the guy asked him, he said, "Do you know you're very, very popular? You have a lot of influence in the world and that." And he said, "Yeah, but I'm no popular to myself.
Right. Yeah, you see that.
I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah, man.
popular to
Yeah, man.
myself. Like I
Yeah,
am who I am.
I
I'm
am
just
who
a
I am.
man doing his thing." And you know that's the thing. Also, you realize at one point once you go into the well and just like it's just you. It's just I'm just doing my thing and don't
Yeah,
glorify me. I always say it. Don't give me praises. I'm just doing my thing.
yeah, I hear that. Definitely. I do hear that, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yep,
and that's
yep,
what Bob said in an interview. He said, I'm not popular to myself. I'm just myself. Yeah.
yep,
Uh,
yep.
I think we can, yeah, and it comes back to the fact also you were talking about before. A lot of people, I think, learn to sing before they talk, and that's why we have so much content coming in.
Yes,
You know,
yes, that's
they
right.
learn to sing very fast without even how to align their speech. Like before you talk, you should know the power in the words. Like you should know the words a bit and know, what's coming out of your mouth.
Yeah,
Like
from
it's
your baby in a crate, your mum or your father doesn't go, oh, hello, and just start talking. They're singing to you, rockabye baby on the treetop. You know, any song, a favorite song. So one mother might sing a Bob Marley song. One mother might sing a Eminem song. It's whatever's in them, and it's like you said. So from a baby, the first words you're hearing are is songs, lyrics,
okay.
poetry.
We come in a baby state, but often we stay in that baby state, and that's why we keep singing before we keep to learn to sing before learning to talk. This is what I'm saying. Everyone here should learn how to talk before they even pick up a mic or anything, and that's good
Yeah,
what you say, because when you're in a crib all you hear is people singing around you. And I
that's
never really thought about this, but that's good what you're saying. I get
yeah,
it. Yeah, great stuff. So yeah, so that's it. The intent of yeah, it's just the intent blows up with time, and I think our the work that you do is the work that you do. I don't think it should be like so much like something personal, like you say, but something for the benefit of us all. When you do
yeah.
something, do you have in mind your own gratification or the benefit of us all?
Yeah, well, yeah, no, the benefit of us all.
But that's it. So you don't go out in the world and oh, I'm gonna like when I do something, it's never really to blow myself up. It's just to do it for a cause that's worth doing something. You know, I don't know. There's
Yeah,
things
yeah,
that
yeah,
matter
yeah.
as well.
That keeps your heart ticking, you know, to be able to do for others. But at the same time, if you're doing bad, it's not a good thing. And but the trouble is that can't be taken away. So there is people out there every day going out and doing bad stuff, and it's being perceived and being put into the world. And thankfully, there's people like me, people like you that can, like I was talking about before, that will dilute that, because you'll go out and do some good. You understand me? Because at the end of the day, we are all human, and we can never all be good. That's impossible. I don't care what anybody says. You can try until you're blue in the face, until we're all starving. We are not all going to be good. But the fact of the matter is, if we can change somebody, and if we can dilute that system, then it's a better day tomorrow.
I think we all have the
That's how you have to be.
possibility. Yeah, the possibility to be better, but I think also we are under like the general population think they're good, think they're doing good stuff. Like when most are like, for most people, it's more important to shine the outside and to be pretty on the outside, and to shine from then cleaning the filth inside. I think there's a lot of filth inside and very dirty, and that's where the wash should happen. But we're busy scrubbing the cars, the homes,
That's right.
the the, the
Yeah.
the little knickknacks and stuff, when
Yeah.
we should scrub ourselves inside so
By
much.
myself. That's right. That's right. That's right. For real. For
And
real.
when you start scrubbing that stuff, you start cleaning out, cleansing. That's the cleansing you do. How important is it for you? Because with training, there's nothing training cannot do. You can exercise something and it will become reality. How important is it for you to train this and to train the body? Like, do you go in a gym? Do you do exercise every day? Like, how do you keep a sharp mind? Because to write lyrics like you write, you gotta have this thing sharp there. So, do you have a special diet or a special training? What do
no,
you do?
no, no. It's my passion, man. It is my passion. It's just that. It's my passion. I'm not shy of the gym. I do go gym now and again, but not all the time. Sometimes, like I had I had a big event coming up, and it was like booked like 3 months down. And I thought to myself, I want to be, I want to have that lion. I want to have that, yeah. And the way I thought to do it was, yeah, don't be lazy. Go gym every morning. Stay focused. Keep that pace. Keep that pace. Keep that pace. And then, and I done it. And even my missus said to me, "Wow, like you are proper going for it." And I said, "Yeah, because you know what I'm like, babe. I'm focused now. I've got this. I had 3 dates where I was doing gigs for." And I was going to be on stage for a lot of people, and there's going to be interviews after, and go to radio stations and stuff. And I didn't want to be all kind. I just wanted to be sharp. I wanted to be boom. And yeah, people might take drugs to do that, but that's not me. I'm not doing them white devil lines to be sharp and to be, I'd rather train from your core and be sharp and all that, and be. So I done that for the time. Went to the gigs, had a great time at the gigs, done it all really really well. When I come off the gigs, I stopped going gym because it was almost like my brain told me, "You can simmer now, rest," because you can't keep on, you can't burn both ends of the candle because we're only human, and you're going to end up being ill. So you trained hard, you done your shows. Now rest time, your time, chill out, boom, boom, boom. And even my missus said to me the other day, "Right, you haven't been gym for time. Are you going to go again?" And it struck a little chord in my mind, and I'm like, right, I need to go back gym. I think I do, because you get in life, or you get to that point where, because I don't work, so there is gaps in between my day. I don't sit there every day, all day, every day, writing lyrics and doing musical stuff. I either pick a morning, I pick an afternoon, or I pick an evening. So then what happens to the rest of my day? So if I pick a morning, what happens to the afternoon, or what happens to the evening time? So you do find yourself getting a bit restless. And what is the best thing to do? Go for a walk, go for a run, go to the gym, go for a swim. If I could play cricket and there was a cricket club, go play cricket, go play basketball, do something else. Because then when you come back, you're refreshed again, you're excited, you got that new energy, you got that new vibe, and also in your heart again, you feel good because you've trained again, you've trained yourself, so you're letting your inner body know that, yo, you are good, you are better than that, you are going to keep and maintain level. If you sink down and go down and go down, we're only human. It's hard to get back up, and some people need help. Some people need to be like, "Oh, I'm not going gym. Why? Because I've got to walk there." So what? Get off your ass and walk. Now, you know what? If you come and pick me up, I go to the gym. What kind of nonsense is that? Because they've sunk so down, they can't get up. They literally want you to carry them to the gym. And if you did carry them to the gym, they will start working out. Humans, we're mad.
But pushing yourself in a physical way is very important. Like, if you start pushing yourself, like just exercising, and because it's an habit, most people have a hard time starting to exercise, or most people don't read, they don't exercise. We're a society very passive. That's the
Yeah.
case of most people. Just exercising 10, 15, 5 minutes a day, an hour, whatever is your choice, is very good for you, for your being.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a bigger smile on your face. I'm telling
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
since I exercise each
Yeah.
and every day, whether it's doing stretching, it's doing I have a me. If I would be an artist going on stage, or I would have a stationary bike in my back stage room.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just to
Yeah.
release the energy a bit before
That's
getting on
right.
stage. Before, I think that's why people get crisp sometime, or too stuck up, or like there's energy that need to be released, and
That's
finding a
right.
place to
That's right.
release that energy is important. Because, like you
Important.
say, you're gonna have gap during the day. You're not always doing music. I'm not always on YouTube. But what do
Yeah.
I do the rest of the day? Like
That's
that's gonna
right. That's right.
energize the next talk I'm gonna have on the Truman Show.
Yeah, man.
That's gonna
Yeah.
energize the next lyrics you're gonna write, and
Yeah.
but we gotta stay active, right?
That's right. That's right. Yeah, because we have a brain, and people them say, you know how powerful our brains are. We don't even tap into half of our brain for our whole life. We live and die, and we haven't even tapped into half of our brain. And you want to let your brain sit there all day and do nothing. No wonder you're mad. No wonder you're angry. You're grudgeful, or you're not thinking straight, because you just let your brain just sit there all day long. You go to the gym or you exercise for a couple of minutes. It's not like reading a book, but your brain is concentrating on the muscle that you're using. It's feeding, it's telling it to send blood to there. It's telling it to give you the power to lift that weight. So you are feeding your brain. If you just sit there doing nothing all day long, or you're playing some game that you always play, it's going to become lazy. Your brain's going to switch halfway off, and then you're a couch potato.
Exactly. And you become very uncreative and very uncollaborating, and very detached, very
Yeah,
divided.
man.
Like it's
Yeah,
a suicide, spiritual suicide. Boom,
yeah, man. Yeah, man.
spiritual
Yeah, that's
suicide.
right.
We're not
That's
here
right.
for that. We're much greater than that. But that's a realization again that you must have. But pushing ourselves in a physical way will help you push this also. I think me
Yeah,
that's
man.
the realization I've made is the more physical work. Like if I and again, it's not like if you do exercise. What I suggest. Like if you do put yourself in your head that you're gonna do 25 push-ups in a day, or each and every day, or stuff like that, you don't count at the beginning. You count when it start to hurt. When do you count your money in your wallet? When it start to hurt,
I
right?
did. Yeah,
You're gonna
yeah,
your
yeah.
money when it starts to hurt. So same thing with the physical part. You do
Yeah,
push up,
man.
do them. Don't put count on it, or when it start to hurt, you can do it now. Start to come, because that's where it matters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's
man. That's
where
right.
it matters.
That's right.
And same thing mentally. Same thing mentally.
Yeah,
We gotta build that stuff. The strength, that's a muscle up there too. But most people, I don't know, they don't focus on that muscle. It's the arm, the leg, the six
yeah,
pack. A six
yeah.
pack. But this is a muscle too, and we must exercise it, right?
That's right, man. Yeah, man. For real.
That's what I think. It's very much about exercising, and there's nothing training cannot do. Like it's just to put yourself into motion, also into motion, which is very
Yeah,
important.
yeah,
Now that's it. There's a lot of going on in this world. There's a lot going on in this world. We can't also just dismiss the world we live in. It's a part of my experience being on Earth, and I think it's a great time. I think it's a new era that's happening on Earth.
yeah,
More and
man.
more people are, like I said, doing research within them, because the first research that should happen into it's within you. Like you got to research that stuff, and that's it. I wanted to ask you how important that is for you to grow mentally, to grow physically. Like we grow physically, but to grow mentally. Like, are you at a place in your life where now you feel comfortable, like bringing that growth part of you also into your music part, like to
Yeah,
make this because we see you obviously maturing also, like you're more mature today than you were 15 years ago, for sure. So
yeah.
so do you keeping on into that line of divine duty?
Yes, yeah. I mean, to me now, I would say in the last 8 years is now where I feel like I am me now, and I'm like prouder of being this part of me than the younger days of me, kind of thing. And now when you're younger, some people don't take on form everything. Just for whatever reason, you're not ready, you didn't understand that way, or so on and so on. But I find now in my older part of my life that I'm living now, I'm more comfortable. I understand what paths I should be taking and why I should be taking them paths. I understand a lot more in my relationship with my wife and my relationship with my family. And so yeah, right now I feel good. I feel a lot more rounded. I feel a lot more happier. I can, where when I was younger, I wouldn't make decisions for myself. Like you said before, if the vibe is not right, I'm not going. But back in the day, I was chasing. So whether the vibe was right or wrong, I was turning up, and it was the wrong thing to do. Nowadays, I can sit back and reassess and go, is that really what I want to go and do? Is that really, you know what? That ain't for me. And I don't pace up and down the room like, oh, I've made a mistake or this and that. I have said, no, you know what? That's not for me. And I'm cool and I'm done. And then I can move on to the next thing and the next thing and so on and so on. So yeah, I'd say we're in the last 10 years, 8, 10 years. I'm 42 now. So
More
life
consciousness, more
life for me was
awareness.
an experience up until 32, and then from 32 is when I then started realizing seriously about life and what's what and what should be and what shouldn't be, and how I should be taking this path and not be taking that path, and so on and so on. I mean, yeah, I've got regrets and I haven't got regrets. I've got good memories of me being young. I've done stuff that other people have never done or never would have seen, or so on and so on. But I've done a lot of stuff that people would be like, "You're not ashamed of that?" And yeah, I am ashamed of it, but I've moved on and I try and carry a better light. And I try and portray myself in a better way for people them to go, "Wow, do you remember that guy? He used to be like this, but now he's like this." And it's got nothing to do with church, or I was in prison and I changed my way. It was just me becoming an adult, me becoming a man. Someone even said to me that the other day, they was like, "Right, you properly become a man now," and I didn't mean it as in like, "Oh, you because I've now gone past puberty." It's just saying that I can really tell now that you're proper zoned in and you're kind of a lot more. Yeah, and it was like that's what becoming a man is. It's not all about becoming a man. You're strong and you're vibrant and you're past 21 and your balls are dropped and so on and so on. Nah, you're still learning, man. You're still that's all learning path. So you're gonna make mistakes and you're gonna do stuff that maybe you're ashamed of or maybe you're happy of. But if you can go to live the last part of your life, like the next half of your life, in a better way, and say, you know what, I've changed from that, I've learned from that, it's going to make me a better person, and so on and so on. Or even just to be like, I don't want to be like that no more. And that, just knowing that, is keeping me going, maybe, you know.
Yeah, keep ourselves in a state of constant desire to learn, because the most, I think that with the thing that affects humanity a lot and everywhere you go, I think probably you've noticed that also, is the people don't really want to learn. Like we want to learn, but within what is fed to us, we don't want to really go outside our conditioned ways to start
Yeah,
exploring. It's very hard to break that cage, that bubble,
that's
and
right,
that's
that's right.
be broken.
I,
That's not where life
for,
happens. Doesn't happen in a cage.
That's right. That's what I think. For me, when I really got into the music and I started going abroad a lot, I used to think, because I came from what I came from, oh, I'm untouchable. I'm the baddest on the block. I can go to any dance, any corner of the UK, and a boy and a girl can't come test me, and they can't come talk to me. I am me. I run things. I've seen it all. But when I went abroad, and we was in France, we was in Paris, and there was this gang group, and there was on the corner of the road, and the promoter goes to me, oh, don't make eye contact with these people, so on and so on. Now, that was the wrong thing to do, to tell me at the age I was and what I thought I was. Oh, don't make eye contact with these people, blah, blah, blah. So what do you think I got to do, Nick? I got to make eye contact with them. As if to be like, boy, you ain't nothing to me. You don't know about UK. But I'm a bad man from the UK. What? Nah, man. When these boys, yo, they itch up on me. There was about 15 of them. They all come over to me and they had me up. They pulled out knives, machetes. I was so gobsmacked. I couldn't believe it. And the promoter was talking in French to them, going like, please calm down. Like, this is a communication from country difference. You know, if he was living and born in Paris, he wouldn't be troubling you lot. Please understand that. And they kind of like, and I was trying to tell them, look, man, I'll rap some lyrics for you lot. So they kind of, oh, okay, I'm kind of understanding what you're about. But at the same time, I always remember this. The guy goes to me, this is not your turf. Don't ever look at me like that. And from there, I thought to myself, right, you know what? I ain't the baddest on the block. I'm far from that. Because I've just come to France and these little 16-year-old boys are carrying machetes, flick knives, butterfly knives, and they're all doing all the tricks with them all. And the promoter from France was going to me, yo, this gang here, yo, don't fuck, you know what I mean? These are some rude boys. And then it made me realize in life, yo, see what I mean by the bubble? Bubble can be a very wicked thing, you know, because you think, you know, oh, like I said, I thought I was the baddest. I've had fights with people in the UK, so I think, yeah, I'm tough, I'm rough, come on. But then when I start going to other countries and I see other people's ways of living, I think, right, well, I'm tough. This guy's out on the street, my man's got 10 knives on him. He can butcher me in 1 second, and he don't feel no way to go and do it as well. So then I started to realize, and the more I'm going abroad, Canada as well, Canada, some rude boys in Canada, the promoter goes to him, come on, man, take me somewhere where it's real life. I want to see the real man then. He goes to me, we can't. I go, what do you mean we can't? I was like, yo, fool, come on, man, take me to, I want to go to see some rude boy. I'm a rude boy. I want to see some rude boy then. He goes to me, if I drive down that part of the road, we are getting had up. We are getting robbed. And it ain't fisticuffs. It's gun. And he was like, I'm not playing, I'm taking it. And then I realized again, rah, man, there's some, yo, we got it easy in the UK right about now. There's me thinking I'm tough boots. I ain't tough no boots. People out here are living different lifestyle. So so all this is remember, like I said, a sponge. I'm absorbing it all. So when I come back to the UK, I used to be like, oh, I could have walked around the UK like, yo, I've been to the baddest place where man them carry gun and knife. And no, I came back thinking, no, you know what? Any man from anywhere can be any different, any stronger, any wickeder, or any wilder. Yeah. So just know that yourself. No, you ain't the greatest and you ain't the youngest best, and so on and so on. So through life, then I start to realize, oh, okay, you know what? Yeah, this ain't really for me. I don't want to be living like this, and so on and so on. So it made me a better person, man, to go out there. And I used to tell people, you know what? When I used to see rude boys and that from round my way, I used to say, have you been on holiday? You ever been anywhere? And they said, no. And I say, yeah, I can tell. You're small. You're too small-minded. You need to go out there into the world and see people. Because even though in France there was all them bad boys, and you can go to the shop and buy knife, pepper spray. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? You got that big Selassie knife chopper and pepper spray and all these things. And I was like, yeah, you can just go and buy it. I was like, oh my God. Right about now, I feel to go run and hide. But all the promoter and all the people, really nice people. All the people on the music side, really nice. So it was like, I saw both sides. There was really nice people and there's really bad people. And then I realized in life, no matter where you are in life, it's all the same, just in different colors, different backgrounds, and different opinions. But there'll always be a better person than you. There'll always be a better rapper than you. There'll always be a better whatever. But that doesn't mean for you to get grudgeful or for you to get wicked. Yeah. It's either if there's a better rapper than me, then I should learn off him. I should go up to him and go, yo, that's me and you par. Because it'll make me wanna bring out the better in me. And so on and so on. So I can try and better myself as well. So and we can have a good vibe together because we're running off each other, and the power is like them two magnets where they try and connect, but they bounce off each other. But the power's there because the power is bouncing them off because they ain't the same. Well, they are the same, but when it comes to try and put them together, they don't want to be together. But they are the same magnets.
Yeah. And you were mentioning the lyrics and the gangster style and stuff, and I think that's what I see still today. And not something I would expect of reggae music is have a gangster lyrics type stuff, and we see it still a lot into reggae music. I don't know, from some artists more than others. Maybe it depends their life experience, what they have experienced
That's right. Yeah,
in
yeah.
Jamaica and all that. But I hear a lot of murder sound and sound boy, we're gonna murder you, and murderer, and a killer,
But it's
sound boy killer, and the killer.
yeah, yeah, because
Man,
because because the music has
why is that? What is that? What is that sound boy sound? Because I hear a lot in down in the
it's to
break.
do with there. It's the music is in so many different lanes. There is reggae. I know reggae people that don't listen to no other music. They hate dancehall. They hate bashment. All that because of what they're talking about and what it stands for. They believe in peace and love
C'est
and
ça.
unification. And if you're not chatting them words, they don't want to know. And reggae is that form. Then you have the dancehall part, which is many be talking about your kind of upbringing, girls, party, the loud, the boisterous side of us human beings. And then you have the bashment side, which is more like the party side with the dancers and so on and so on. But what happened is there is the sound the sound man, and they are dubs for. There's an interview with Super Cat and Junior Cat, and they talk about it in the interview. And I come across it a little bit. Is that back in the day, them Soundboy Murderer, yeah, which would represent a sound. So they're not trying to say, oh, this sound here, we're gonna murder you like with a gun or a knife. They're trying to say we are gonna murder you with lyrics. We're gonna murder you with our big speakers. So you bring your crew with your sound and your music and your speakers. I bring my sound and my speakers and my music. And now it's a sport. So basically, this sound here is called whatever, and this sound is called whatever. So they want to now try and say, yo, blah, 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 I murder your sound, we kill your sound get buried, so on and so. There's certain singers won't do dub plates for sounds because they are reggae and they don't want to portray talking about burying somebody. But what the sound man are saying is, no, 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 don't watch that. I'm talking about burying a sound. But now we are in the future music. It's not stayed separated. It's flushed into all the pies because it's worth money now. Because if you talk about love and them things there, nobody wants to know. You got to talk about man, I kill your sound, man, I murderer. Everyone wants to know about it. Everyone wants to be a part of that. No one wants to be a part of happiness and love and unite. Very few people, not the majority or the
No,
masses. And the Soundman game used to be like, I know a lot of people that never used to listen to the sound part, couldn't stand it, and never used to know about it, but they love reggae music and they love dancehall. But then as the years have gone on, no longer is dancehall on its own, doing its own thing. Dancehall, the Soundman thing has now come in to reggae, into dancehall, into bashment. So now it's almost like a mismatch. So you get one tune talking about loving and so on, and then you'll get another tune where they're saying, sound them can't test we. We're gonna bury that sound and murder them. They ain't got no quality. I carry a bazooka, shoot them gun, booyaka, and so on and so on. But then they're not talking. It's almost like people who've grown up in the music understand that they're not talking about that. But people, majority masses, they think they are actually talking about they want to get a bazooka and come and blow up your yard. It's
that.
not about that. It's a musical war. That's what it is. It's between that sound and who is the better. And that's how sound music has always been. That's from day dot. But it's come through because it's become a major thing now within the music, the Caribbean music, the reggae music is a big part of it. Where before it was its own thing. No, if you want a die-hearted fan, you wouldn't know about any of that. Now and again, a little tune, a little rude boy tune would slip through, and everyone would hear a tune that said, murder them, murder them. But he's not talking about I'm gonna murder you or you. He's talking about I'm gonna murder that person's sound who's gonna play their next dub. I'm gonna murder that person who's bringing that speaker to the sound. And for some people, they find it hard to understand. For other people, they understand the sport and they understand what they're trying to portray and come across with.
But for someone like me, it's like conscious and aware. It's not something really that attract me. It's I know it's to condition without knowing. You condition the masses to think and to music can be very very influential. Some
Yeah,
people
man.
listen to
Yeah,
music
man.
all day long. That's all they listen to is music. So music can be
Yep.
a
Yep.
very influential force. So we should very much. Be very conscious of what we put into our lyrics, and that's why murder them sound. And I did transcript for a few videos, and that's what I was hearing in there. I'm like, what is that? Like, majority of people, they don't see the deep message. First of all, we listen to music with our bodies. I call it the body because it's should be written with the BOWDY, because your
Ah,
body is like the arrow is the soul. You have to
yeah, 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 yeah.
the body is that's it, is the bow. So the body and the arrow is the soul.
So just touching back on Super Cat and Junior Cat, they used to say back in the day they would do songs and they would do dub plates for the sound systems. Back in the day, them sound and the dub that they done, it wouldn't be played on main stations across the border because it wasn't for that. Do you understand me? It was a sport that was to be played in the sound game and not played out of it because like you said, people are reading into it wrong. There's young people listening to it and so on and so on. So what he used to say is I used to make bare tune and I wouldn't get no play on the airwave because the
So
DJ wouldn't play them, but they would get number one play on the sound system. But then as years go on, they become so strong and powerful that, like I said before, no longer is a conscious tune touching everyone on the radio. Now, like from back in the day, now all this tune talking about Soundboy and Murderer, oh, that's now hot flavor on the radio. But if you go back years and years ago, if I brought that dubplate to the radio, they said to me, move. I'm not play that, I'm not represent that. Go and take that to your sound. Play that with your sound, on your sound. That's what that is for. But like I said, things revolve, things change, things come in. And now that's a major part of the music. Most people do a ganja tune, a gallish tune, a party tune, and a soundman tune.
yeah, no, I heard that a lot, especially in the places. You hear that most in the plates, and yeah, I've many of them are involving that kind of lyrics. I think
And
it should be
the Billie Jean track that you sent me,
yeah.
I admit, I so wanted to do murder them, but I knew let me try and come with something a bit. Stay on the vibe, but let me just try and just change it up. So what came to me was bullets of love. Do you
That's it. I
understand me?
liked it.
Playing with
Bullet
it,
of
playing
love.
with the emotion, trying to still be like, yeah, I'm a sound man, but I'm not actually gonna say them words. They're gonna murder you, and my bullets are gonna kill you. No, I'm gonna say, yeah, I'll murder you with bullets of love. I'll put you to shame. I don't need to stab and kill and shoot and bury you. Yeah, if I'm gonna talk about it, I'm gonna talk about it in a proper way. But that dub won't last if it's to be representing and played for a sound when the giants go up, because that's what it's about. You have to come with, but saying that, times have evolved again and the consciousness is coming back into the dub. You see, it's like roundabouts. 1 minute conscious music in the reggae being played on the radio stations back in the day, massive. If you had a dub plate talking about murder and this and that gunman talk, you would get no play. Now it's all getting play. But now what's going into the sound man thing? culture lyrics. You hear one culture tune, shut down the dance. Shut down, put all bad man to shame, make a bad man weep, make a bad man go walk home crying. You understand me? All Rasta, a true Rasta man all turn up and go, yo, I see them tune them and talk about love and passion and unite and wash out and drain out, flood out all the bad mind them and all the witchery and trickery and all the politrickery. And that seems to be touching now more than the Gunman or the Murder Soundboy tune. But it's how it's revolving and changing and coming true that it's being taken in different ways and so on. Like I said, a few years ago, it would have all been Gunman tune, all Badman thing, all the way down the line. I listen to sound, you know, I follow sound music heavily. And nowadays, I find there's a lot more culture coming in. A man drops one culture tune and the place lock off. Place, yo, everyone, hands up in the air, you know what I mean? And man will put on a bad man tune, and people will be like, yeah, yeah. Man, they'll put on another real tune, man, I'm talking real sense and touching and, you know, real topics. Man, them getting, man, them winning the dance. Man,
They're gonna
man, them play some
go.
old roots tune. Man play some old roots tune from like 1972. That thing shut the dance. Shut the dance. He wasn't talking about no gun or no this and that or some bad mind or some, you know, it was just time and place and how it revolves and changes.
Now, another thing I want to touch with you is we're talking about the plates, and we're gonna finish with this today. It's the dubs you're making, because you're making a lot of dub plates, not just for me, but for other people also, other producers, other sound system or whatever. But I think it's something that's good for both. For the benefit of us all, for sure. But I think both parties benefit in there, because now, like a guy like me that's go and get new rhythms and stuff and try to seek out the upbeat rhythm and stuff, and then pass them along to you. After, my question to you is, do you take that rhythm, that the plate, and when you go perform on stage, you bring the rhythm with you that I gave you, the wave file and MP3, and you play it in on stage? Like, I would love to see that. That's why I think it's very good to do the plates, to bring new rhythms, so it expand your catalog also.
Yeah,
Your
man. Yeah, man. Yeah.
catalog, and you like, you have lyrics, but then I have rhythms to it, man. It becomes power. You know, the rhythm and the lyrics, it's like nitro and glycerin. Armlet,
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
them together, it becomes explosive.
Yes. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Don't know.
It's good.
Yeah,
So yeah, so how important is that what you do? You bring them on stage, and you use them after for your musical catalog? Like?
oh yes, yeah, yeah, for definite, for definite. I mean, it depends. There could be a promoter that's already heard a track, so he's made up his mind and said, "I heard this track. I want you to do that track." Okay, but listen to this one. No, 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 no. I want you to do that track. So he's the boss. He's paying you the wages. So you kind of say, "Oh, okay." Then you have some promoter that just say, "I want to book you. What have you got?" And then you come along and say, "Right, I got this, I got this, I got this." They might say, "I leave it up to you." So give and take with promoters. Some promoters are very mindset, and they know what they want, and they know what artists they're going to have on the stage and what they're going to chat. Because some promoter, they don't like. I could have a promoter might say to me, "Yo, that tune there about, I don't know, about some bad mind people. I want you to chat that one, because that's what he's representing in his rave." Some promoter might be like, "No, I want you to check that share and care one, because that's what he is perceiving that he wants to represent in his dance." And some people, some promoters, they don't care. They're just, "You're good. I like what you do. Come along and you do your thing. You are you. You do your thing." So it's a mismatch. Sometimes you can suggest a song or a beat to them, or a couple of them, or sometimes they've already got it all worked out. They've heard the song that they want to hear from you, and that's the one they want you to perform, and so on and so on. So, you know, for me, I'm not a super big artist, so it's not like, oh, but the fans want to hear this tune and the fans want it. So I can't dictate where some big artists like Beanie Man, Bounty, and Chronics, they're going to say, well, the fans are going to want to definitely hear this one, and they'll want to definitely hear this one. And promoter, you like this one. So in the end, they're singing 5 songs, 3 songs, because the promoter wants that one. The fans are going to definitely want this one. You know what I mean? They're all going to be there thinking, yeah, they're all there ready to sing along. If you don't chat it, you're letting them down.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to work with the promoter and say, no, look, man, I need to check that song. Why? Because that's my #1 song, and all my fans that are going to turn up are going to want me to sing that song. And when I sing it, watch how they sing it back. Watch how they react with me. You'd be a fool not to let that track become part of your show.
You know what tune is big as an artist. You know what tune catch more or raise the emotional state of the crowd,
Yeah.
because that's what you want and you feel that stuff. And I'm sure you can testify of that. You've been on stage many of times. You feed on the energy of the crowd. Look, come on. If I'm sure you're a much more energetic Jamaican English if the crowd is on fire and the crowd is singing your lyrics,
Yes,
than if it's a quiet crowd, right?
That,
How
is
do you
where
process internally that feeling? And how do you keep going with energy and high energy when the crowd is low and low, and you want to bring energy, you want to put them on fire, but they stay low, song after song, like, that, what I'm going to do?
yeah. Well,
You're freaking out.
there's one way of looking at it. I've played many dances empty. So I have an experience. That's not my fault. That's just you being an artist coming through. There's been dances I've chatted thousands on a big fields, big stages, and there's been parties where I've gone to and there's been no one show up, and the promoter's going, where is everybody? I can't believe no one's shown up. You know, there's just a couple of friends and a couple of people. There's not a crowd.
No,
And,
that's it.
and I always say in my lyrics when I'm performing, there can be a thousands of you or one of you. You have to maintain that level, and that's what being an artist is. That's the difference between a faker and somebody inexperienced. Whether there's one person in the venue or one person on the radio listening, you have to maintain you and what you would come to do, because that one person could be the most biggest, powerfulest, behind closed doors industry person looking for that great somebody or something like that, and you're there just going, there ain't no one here, fuck you all. They're just gonna walk out, or people are not gonna book you again, because people always say your last show is the show that people will judge you by. So if you're in a show and there's one person, but it was recorded and the flyers were on Facebook and someone and people say, oh no, you didn't do anything, and then I go, yeah, but there was no one in the club. People just be like, no, man. They'll just remember that I didn't do anything. I didn't vibe. If they see me vibing and they say, was there anyone in that club? Because I couldn't see anybody. And then the guy go, no, it was empty. They're going to go, raw, man, that guy, man, he's got some vibes. Imagine what he would be like on a stage with 20,000 people. Man will come in swinging from the trees.
The party
so
for sure.
I've always liked that, even from pirate radio days, where you're just, you could be in someone's kitchen, you could be in someone's basement, and you don't know how many people are locked in. All you're doing is this, you've got a mic and a DJ in front of you, and that's it. You don't know if one person's locked in or thousands are locked in. And that builds your, that helps you become, when you go somewhere and perform, whether there's 10,000 or none, still maintain and just do your job that you're meant to do.
That's why I like the YouTube thing, because YouTube, I never know who's watching. You know, if I go do a speech in a room on the stage, I have all the faces in front of me. You see everybody. You know, you can sense the emotion of people. You can sense their being. But when you're on YouTube, you don't know who's watching. So to keep that composure, it's like the composure I have here, the way I maintain myself here in front of I don't know who's watching.
Yeah.
Is making me stronger. And after, if I go on stage or something, it should be like an easy process, just very natural, just like an happening in my life, like just an experience, not something that I should fear or be insecure with.
That's right. That's right.
Something I should be at ease.
When you go and perform on stage, it is better to, like you were saying, like, can you change your tempo? Can you read off the crowd and follow what's going? It's better to work with a band, because that way there, if you are reading the crowd and they're more energetic, then you can turn to the band and make them go more raw, make them play more, and they'll feel it as well. But if you've just got CD and what you've got, you can't make that go more. It is what it is. But if you're with that's why them bands in Jamaica, when they're on the stage, they bounce it low because they've got something to say. They've got something powerful. They want the crowd them to react to it. So low, 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 bounce it low, bounce it low. Because I've got something. Because they're literally saying, take it down. I've got something important to tell you. People, they want to listen up. And then they come and spit that thing, and everybody can hear it clear. They're not trying to diss the bands, man, and say, "Oh, play low, you're rubbish, we don't want to hear you." They're just saying, just temp it down, because I've got something really powerful that I need to flash from this side of the stage to the way on the other side of the stage. They all need to hear it at the same power, at the same pace. And the only way I can do that is to turn the bands down a little bit. And then when I've said that, and the crowd have felt what I'm saying, now come back in. Yeah, and then that's when you get the, you understand me? And that's playing with emotions, and that's playing with the crowd. Yeah, man. That's why, like I said to you before, I'm in my life now where I do want to learn. I would love to learn drums or guitar, because that's another passion that I know about, and I know is very strong in music. Just like I said there, bands, man, it's better to come on stage. I would love to perform anywhere I went with a band, way down, than just me and my music on a USB or a CD.
I see you with the bass in your arm. I see you being a bass man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would see you with the bass, and you got that
Yeah.
deep root stuff, man. You should grab a bass, and it should be pretty easy to learn. There's 5 chord, I think, 5 chord, and they're
That's
big.
right. Yeah, 5 chord. Yeah.
They're big.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
So,
man. Yeah, man.
but the bass is essential also in music. Like, this is not
Oh
the
yeah.
instrument you hear. This is like also something to mention, the bass in music, because you don't hear it the most, but it's the most important part in the music is the bass, the
Well,
background.
you had the interview with Ras
I,
Madras, is that right? Yeah. And I asked him the question, "What's your favorite piece in the band?" And he said, "The drums. Without the drums, it's the drums. It's the drums." And I totally understand what he was saying there and what he was coming from. But for me, it's the bass. I thrive off bass because
me
that's what
too.
my ears are tuned to. That's what I've always been a lover of. If there's a big deep bass, I will sit on that with my lyrics. Sometimes all I need to hear is a bass, and that will just get me going. It's the that bass line is really speaks to me. Without a bass, I can be lost a little bit. I'm a little bit like, you fling me a nice bass line, I'm in, I'm rolling. You can't stop me, you know? So for me, definitely bass guitar. I love bass line. Bass line for me is the most biggest thing. I understand and respect all parts of a band, but when that bass line comes to me, yo, people, them, you know what I mean? It brings out something in me, man. And it might not be for everybody else. Like Russ just said, him is the drums. When he gets them drums, he's away. He's doing his thing. He's in his zone. But yeah, for me, it's definitely bass, man. Bass guitar, I love. And like you said, you can see me as a bass guitar player, and I would love to play it, man. And I'm gonna try and make it a thing to happen. Maybe one day I'm gonna come on this show of yours in the future, and I'm gonna be able to do a little, you know what I mean?
With your bass. I want to see you with the bass. I'm telling you, it's something I didn't know about you. You love bass and stuff, but you see the connection. Like,
Yeah.
no, great. And I suggest you look at. But you probably seen him before. It's Aitawe. Aitawe is a musician I like a lot, a singer from
Okay.
Jamaica. He lives in California today, but Aitawe,
Right.
check him out. And he
Okay.
plays
Okay.
guitar and bass, and he's so
Ah.
elegant when he plays the bass. I find it's an elegancy. It's not something you will never see a bass player going.
Yeah. You have to
Unless it's
sit back.
funky
You have to
stuff.
sit back.
Yeah, but it's laid back. You know, it's smooth. It's
Yes.
a smooth vibe. It's a vibe you can feel. You know, the electric guitar, something
Yeah.
it's fast, you don't feel it. But the bass
That's
always
right.
come and get you in the heart too. And man, I see you so much with the bass. I'm telling you, you're a bass man.
Right.
You're Jamaican English, large up. We're gonna be together again soon. Like we
Yeah,
said,
man.
it's not the end of it. It's the end today, but it's far from being the end of our
No, no.
reasoning, and we'll have the chance again to interact
Yeah,
together.
man. Yeah, man. Yeah, big up all TRU-MON fans. Big up all the massive around the whole entire universe. It's Jamaican English. I represent all of it. Love, peace, and unity. People, them, when allow the guns and the crime and the violence, just be happy within yourself and do you. I just want to big up Nick and big up Vic Star with the Bite Radio Massive, them one love. Big up all of my family. Yeah, you hear me? Big up my missus to the fullest. You don't know. And big up the main man himself, Janik, Mr. Truman, the Truman Show, YouTube live, bare interviews. Him always smashing it, always keeping a good level and a good maintain of good artists.
Full
And I
joy.
salute that. And this is only part two.
Part two of four. So be there. There's going to
Yeah,
be
man.
two more. We're just warming up. It seems like I'm just warming up with you.
Yeah, man. You
So
don't know. You
large
don't know.
up, Michael again. Michael
Yes.
Jackson English, and I'll let you know for the other one for sure. But
Salute.
do
Yeah, man.
something. My message to the people is do something each and every day to make this world a better place because
A
we
better
can do
place.
it. We can all do it. We can all do our part and stop being a part of this world.
Yes, we can all change. We can all change. We can all change, man. It's just a matter of taking that step. If you don't think you can't change, you don't make the step. Then you don't make the step. You have to think that you can make that step. Just believe in that because that's what will keep you going to making the step. And
Yep.
then once you make that step, man, you'll look back and just be like, you'll be thankful for that part of making that step. So big up all massive them. You hear me? Love, love,
And
love, love, love. Monster love.
monster love, and you're gonna realize also that there's not much big difference from before. Like you're just being natural, you know, when you do
Yeah, man.
your stuff, and so it's not a big difference from me from 10 years ago to now. It's just more awareness, more conscious of
Yeah,
my
man.
actions, and I want to do
Yeah,
great stuff.
people that say, "Oh, you've grown up, you become a man." Not everybody grows up. Not everybody becomes a man. Some people stay a teenager for the rest of their life. Yeah, in their body, they look old and they grow old, but they're a teenager.
You do epic shit with epic people. Boom! I'm
Yeah,
out.
man.
See ya.
So